On average, 115 Americans die every single day from an opioid overdose. The nation's fatal addiction to pain pills is truly devastating, and one doctor has a creative yet controversial way to combat it. San Diego ER doctor Dr. Roneet Lev created a project called Death Diaries that has caused quite a stir. Dr. Lev collected information on what drugs killed 254 patients in 2013. Including what they were being prescribed and by whom. What she found was startling. Blatant doctor shopping, obvious and avoidable pill abuse, and unsafe prescribing. One woman filled her 54th prescription for oxycodone just 5 days before she died. She had prescriptions written by 36 different doctors and dispensed by 21 different pharmacies. Dr. Lev thought, if doctors knew that their prescriptions killed, perhaps it could change prescription habits. So she mailed hundreds of these death diaries to the prescribing doctors, alerting them that their patient had died. Could these death diaries help improve doctor accountability and save lives? Please welcome ER physician Dr. Roneet Lev to the show. And I have to say, an incredibly innovative approach to this. I'm curious though, when you send one of these death diaries to a doctor or a physician, what has the response been that you've gotten?
The response has been remarkable. There's not a physician who doesn't get a letter, who doesn't feel impacted, and it shakes you up. I mean, physicians have sacrificed a lot to enter medicine, to help, to heal, and nobody believes it's their prescription that ended up killing somebody.
I'm curious if in your research, we know that there are some unscrupulous doctors out there who probably knowingly and willingly have overprescribed. We've talked about pill mills before. Do your death diaries go out to any physicians like that but didn't quite make the connection?
Dirty doctors need to go to jail and lock away the key.
I agree. I agree.
But the physicians I found are good doctors. They're my colleagues. They're people I go to for myself and for my family, and just generally are not aware of the whole situation.
Yeah, we made that oath, do no harm, and I think the people doing the pill mills, they have to know that ultimately harm will...
So basically, it sounds to me like if you received one of these as a physician, you're not really trying to shame these physicians. You're just trying to highlight the problem.
Absolutely
so
not.
Getting them to think twice, maybe when they read.
I don't believe it's not to shame physicians, because physicians are also victims of this epidemic.
Absolutely.
We have been forced to prescribe. We've been misled. Early in my training, I was told that I'm not doing enough for pain for patients. I was told not to judge other people's pain, and I was told that you don't get addicted if you take it for the right cause. So we've been misled. And on top of that, we've passed laws that encouraged prescribing. We've passed the Patient's Pain Bill of Rights. Physicians were forced into mandated education that pushed prescribing. When these medications first came out, they were intended for cancer patients and end-of-life care. And overnight, we pulled out those barriers, and now any physician can prescribe any medications at any strength for any cause. So we really need to move the pendulum back to normal. There's a...
It's up.
And it's so good.
We were a big part of the problem. We have to be a big part of the solution.
And Dr. Lev, how do you compassionately say no to your patients and still feel good about what you're doing? Because sometimes they get really aggressive when they can't get that prescription from you.
Yes, and you know what? Saying no in a compassionate way can be the difference between life and death. I think being a good doctor is like being a good parent. Sometimes I say no to my children. I have 4 of them, and I do that out of love and compassion. And as a doctor, I could say no to my patient also, because I care about them. I want them to stay alive, and being able to say no. But I think there is hope. We can end this epidemic if we want to. I've been working on this for 7 years, and not a day goes by where I don't think about people who died and their families that have been absolutely devastated. And we can end the epidemic by closing the faucet on the outpour of prescriptions. We know what prescriptions are dangerous. We know about the deadly combinations. And if we just stop it and stop paying for the medications, we could end the epidemic. And that is government agencies and insurance.
Well, Dr. Lev, I give you credit for a really unique and creative way to raise awareness on the side of physicians. So kudos to you.